What's up guys, it's C Baby, back with another story time. And in today's story time, I'm going to be talking about the first time I went to a party. So this story takes place when I was a freshman in high school, so I was around 15 years old. And I was sent to a private school this year because of my behavior in middle school. Damn! Getting in trouble all the time, so they sent me to a private school. So there was one other kid that was from my school that also got sent to this private school, and we'll just call him Mitch. So we have the same bus route, so we take the bus together. And on this particular day, he asked me, he was like, yo, do you want to go hang out with Mike and Jake? And obviously at this age, I said yeah. So I'm hyped, we gotta move. I get off the bus and I eat some food, I take a shower, I get on my bike and I call Mitch. So me and Mitch meet up and we call Mike and Jake. And they tell us the address of where they're at. So the weird part about this is, me and Mitch have hung out with Mike and Jake before, and we've been to their real houses, and this wasn't the address of their house.
Come on, man.
So it was a little weird, but I'll get into that more later. So we get to the house, and Mike and Jake are clearly already pretty messed up. We shake up, chop it up for a little bit, and we go upstairs. In this room, there's music playing, there's neon lights, there's beanbags, it's a chill room. Then Mike pulls out 4 big bottles of 4 different type of liquor. You know, I'm 15, I think like, yo, we're about to get lit. You know, I'm hyped. Stuff like this doesn't happen every day, you know what I mean, when you're 15, so I was lit. And at that age, that's what I like to do. I like to drink, I like to smoke. Really bad looking at it now, but that's what I did like to do back then. So, you know, we're drinking, blasting music. We went downstairs for some reason, I don't remember why, but I remember we were just blasting music in the living room on the TV. And then all of a sudden, we hear a knock at the door. So Jake gets up and hurry-ups and unplugs the TV that the music's on. And we all just kind of like look at each other and our eyes are super wide, you know, because we're nervous. So Mitch gets up, goes over to the door and looks through the people, and he just kind of starts laughing and says, are you kidding me?
Are you crazy?
Then swings open the door. So it was 3 girls. One of them was my ex at the time and her 2 friends.
Wow.
And when they walk in, Mike goes, oh, I forgot I invited you guys. So I'm pretty drunk at this point, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, what the fuck?
So that was a f***ing lie.
So whatever, we start chopping it up, hanging out, listening to music, and about like an hour and a half goes by. And at this point, I've been drinking like hard liquor for 3 hours. Mind you, I was 15 at the time, so I was a lightweight. And I start talking to my ex. So I'm pretty sure you guys can pick up on what's gonna happen here. But anyway, I start talking to her and I start flirting with her. And I don't remember, but I was told I was pretty much begging her to give me another chance because I fucked up the relationship. But that's besides the point. I was begging her to come back and I was just embarrassing myself.
Oh my god!
I even went as far as like putting my head on her shoulder, laying my head on her shoulder, you know what I mean? I was just embarrassing myself. It was not a good look. And I remember being in the basement. I don't remember why or even what we were talking about, but then I remember we were going back up the stairs, and as I was walking up the stairs, I shit you not, I fell back, fell all the way down the stairs, and my ex had to literally drag me up the stairs. So at that point, it was getting late, and my ex was basically telling me to call somebody to come and pick me up because I'm super drunk. I'm not even gonna be able to get home safe. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. But I was like, fuck that, yada yada yada, and I grabbed my bike and I started riding my bike home. I was so drunk at this point that I literally had to sit at a corner with my head down for about 30 minutes just to collect my thoughts because I was so drunk. And there were people driving by, rolling down the window, asking me like, yo, are you okay? Do you need help? I would say no, what, yada yada yada. Like people honking, just a bad look. So anyway, I get home, I go to bed, and I have school the next morning. And the next morning, it's Friday. We all had a group chat, so we all made plans again to link up, go to that house, and party, have an even bigger party because it's Friday.
Yeah, boy.
So the fact that it's Friday, we start inviting everybody we know, literally everybody, people from different schools, everything. Everybody we know is being invited to this party. So the house that we were going to and the house that I was at the day before, it was Mike's friend's house, and his parents were on vacation and he was with them. So Mike lied to us and told us that it was like his cousin's house and it was all good for us to go in and party. But whole time it wasn't people's house that it was. They didn't even know that we were there. Mike's friend didn't even know we were there. We were basically breaking into this person's house and partying in their house. But at the time, I'm lit. We have this big ass, nice ass house, free for the whole night. So I invite my two best friends. So we go to the party and it just starts off with me and my two best friends, Mitch and Mike. We'll call my two best friends Tom and Chris. So it's just us four at first. We're texting everybody we know, everybody we invited. We're like, yo, pull up, party starting now. And my ex texts me and tells me that she's not going. And at the time that really bummed me out because obviously I wanted to get back with her. But whatever, we start drinking. So it's me, Tom, Chris, Mitch, and Mike. And we all knew that we had to get weed before people started coming. So we were super desperate and we walked probably little over a mile to the plug's house. And we basically begged him to front us an eighth. And surprisingly he did. So got the eighth and we were all hyped. We're like, let's go, party's about to be lit. And we start walking back to the house. We have alcohol, we have weed, we have girls coming over. Everything so far for the night was going smooth. So you know, the girls come over, everyone comes over. Probably about 12 of us and we're all just partying. So it came to a point where I wanted to go home, act like I was going to sleep, and sneak back out and come back out. So I start dapping up all the homies, saying like, yo, I'm gonna be back in probably 45 minutes to an hour. I start saying bye to the girls, and this girl, we'll just call her Grace, that I've known for a while, she's like, can I come back with you, like to my house? And I was like, of course, like let's go.
Let's go.
And you know, me and this girl fucked around in the past before, but whatever. So I only have a bike, so I put her in the handlebars and I start riding home. So I get home and I sneak her in and I just make it known that like I'm at my house. No, I'm not making it too obvious, but I'm making it known that everybody at my house knows that I'm at my house. So whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, I start chopping it up with my family for about 5 minutes. I go back upstairs and the girl that I brought over, Grace, we start, you know, macking for a little bit. So then we sneak back out and I put her on the handlebars and we start riding back to the house, the party. Then she says, wait, stop. So I stop the bike and she hops off. She's getting a phone call. So she answers the phone call and she starts talking to one of her friends that are at the party. And she's probably on the phone for about 45 seconds and you can just see there's something not right. Like you can just see it in her eyes widen.
Bullshit.
Like there's just something not right. You could tell by her like body language and her facial expressions. So she tells me that there's these people from Timon that have came to the party. Now the thing about that is I had beef with these kids from Timon, so somehow they got word that I was at this party and they came to the party looking for me, obviously, to beat the shit out of me. And they were all older than me. I was a freshman. They were probably juniors and seniors. So obviously I'm like, yo, I'm kind of terrified at this point. You know what I mean? But not really, because I was also cocky. So I was kind of scared, but I also was like putting on front, like, oh, I'm tough, I don't care, you know, they can't touch me.
What the fuck?
The typical teenage attitude. So all the people that I was with in the beginning of the story that we started the party, they all left the party because these Timon kids basically took over the party. They were going through the house, stealing every valuable in the house. I remember somebody saying that they were having sex in the dude's mom's room. They stole rings, jewelry. They were just stealing everything.
No!
So we all meet up at the park and everyone's coming up to me and saying like, yo, like, I'm not gonna say the name, but so-and-so's looking for you. He wants to beat your ass. You know, yada, yada, yada. So we're just chilling and Mike brought one of the bottles with us. So we had a full bottle with us and we're just sitting at the park drinking. And about an hour and a half goes by. So we go back to the house. And when we go back to the house, the whole house is just torn apart. Every cabinet, every drawer is open. Everything, there's just a whole bunch of shit on the ground. We go upstairs, just everything is torn apart. This whole house is basically ripped to shreds. So at this point it was getting sort of late. So the girls wanted to go home except for Grace. So the two other girls went home and Grace stayed back and was chilling with me. So, I was just chilling with Grace, talking with her, macking a little bit, nothing too serious, and then she wanted to go home. So she asked me to walk her home. And obviously, as a man, I walked her home. And when I was walking back to the house, I was just terrified because of what happened earlier with those kids trying to beat my ass. So I genuinely thought when I was walking back alone more that there was gonna, I was gonna get sneaked and someone was gonna beat the shit out of me. So I get back to the house and everybody's pretty fucked up. They're clowning me, telling me that I'm a sissy for, walking her home, whatever. The night's starting to die down. So we're all sitting in the living room and we start chain smoking cigarettes. Mind you, I'm 15, and if there's anybody that is close to the age of 15, 16, 17, even 18, I don't recommend anything that I've been talking about in this video. But anyway, we're chain smoking cigarettes and, we're little assholes at the time. So we're like, fuck it, let's start putting the cigarettes out on the couch. So we probably go through 2 packs, just like the 5 of us, just putting all the cigarettes out on the couch, flicking the cigarettes, just being total assholes.
Hey!
Then suddenly out of nowhere we just hear the front door open.
Oh no!
We all like kind of bounce up and it's Mike's friend, the person that lives at the house. So he starts freaking out. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing at my house? Yada yada yada. And Mike, who's his friend, starts talking to him, and I don't know how he did this, but somehow manipulated him into letting us chill at his house. Mind you, this whole house is torn to pieces, so obviously the dude that lived there was freaking the fuck out. I don't even remember what Mike said to him, but somehow he got him to like be okay with us being there in the whole situation. I don't know how he got him to be okay with it, but he did. But anyway, we all wanted to go for a ride, so we started begging him to basically just give us a ride, and this dude was obviously a pushover. So we all got into the car. We start cruising around, the side streets of where they live, nothing too crazy, and we get stopped by these people. Mind you, we're all fucked up except the driver, and the driver's 25. We're all no older than 15. So like a 25-year-old with 5 15-year-olds in a car doesn't look right. So whatever, the driver stops, rolls the window down, starts talking to these people. We're in an SUV. Me and my 2 friends are like in the trunk in the back, just like listening, just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And Mitch was sitting in the passenger seat, and the lady that was that stopped us was asking Mitch like, do your parents know where you are right now? And Mitch was pretty fucked up. He was like kind of slurring his words. He was like, yeah, they know where I'm at, this is my cousin. And the lady that was stopped us gives this weird look, and she goes, something's not right, I'm calling the cops. So me and my 2 friends in the back just look at each other, and as soon as we heard that, we opened the trunk door and just booked it. Just completely booked it into the woods, into the darkness. And we just took the woods and went right back to that dude's house. And about 45 minutes later, they came back, and we were sipping on the bottle a little bit, and I found where I was gonna sleep for the night. But the problem was I punched a hole in the dude's basement ceiling. I know that's really shitty of me. I was super drunk, I was young, I was dumb. But the dude, when he got back home, he came downstairs, he started freaking out. He was about to kick us all out. But my boy Mike somehow got him to calm down again. And we just, at least I went to sleep, and I woke up around 6:30 in the morning and took my bike home and went home, and nobody in my family knew about it. But yeah, that's the story about my first party. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, I really appreciate it, and I'll be back with another one soon.